What's going on, folks? We are back at it again with Catechism Tuesdays, week 19. I am John. This is...
And Ramon.
All right, man. Let's get right into our question. Is there any way to escape punishment and be brought back into God's favor? The answer, yes. To satisfy his justice, God himself, out of mere mercy, reconciles us to himself and delivers us from sin and from the punishment for sin by a Redeemer. So that question, that really gets into, really the heart of the gospel message, which we preach every single Sunday, which every church should be preaching every single Sunday. We're founded upon that. I think just as a quick snapshot, this is basically saying justice is due because of our sin against God. And in God's mercy, in God's grace, the richness of his grace, he has saved and redeemed a particular people for himself, and Jesus Christ being that Redeemer through his death, his burial, and his resurrection. So that's very familiar. You know about that. You're a pastor. But how does that hit you personally? Yeah. How do you think that should hit our viewers?
First of all, it should amaze us. Here's justice that should have come to us. A penalty that should have been rightfully bestowed upon us. We are the violators, right? And God is the one who's been violated. And God himself pays that penalty. That just makes sense. Imagine someone who's been abused, mistreated, on all these different things, and the person gets caught who did all those things, and instead of being sent to jail, the person who was abused, right? Not the abuser, but the abused says, "No, I'll do the life sentence." That amazes me that God would do that, right? And also humbles us. The fact that we don't deserve this. Much of this is, again, go back over the other parts of the catechism. You can't understand this unless you really wrestle with the fact and are honest with the fact that you're a sinner, that you have violated God in ways that you shouldn't. When you're willing to be honest about your own thoughts and feelings and actions in the ways in which they don't honor the Lord, it should break you. It should humble you that God would still love you and show mercy towards you. And this is saying God did. He did love us and show mercy towards us, even to the extent of paying the penalty, satisfying justice by sending his best, his only son for us. So it humbles me, humbles all of us that God would do that. And then the last thing I would say is it gives us hope. And that if God is willing to do this, he's willing to pay the penalty himself. He's willing to send his very best, all of himself, by sending the Redeemer. And the next question is that Redeemer is Jesus, God the Son. God's willing to do that. It gives us hope for any single person. For any single person who thinks they're so far away from God, anyone who thinks that there can be no way they may be loved or cared for, I'm going to tell you, you can be loved, you can be cared for. And God has actually done it. He sent someone to save us.
Man, that's good. And that hope, that biblical hope, is a confident expectation. It's a confident expectation that we can have based upon what Christ has done. So, Well, that's good, man. Well, there you have it, folks. Catechism Tuesdays, week 19. We are out. Love God, love people. Peace.